Hello everyone. In this lecture we will start from flag register. In last lecture we have discussed about 80386 protected mode, virtual mode and real mode. Pin diagram of 80386 where we have discussed pins related to power supply, related to interrupt like INTR, reset pin and NMI pin, and related to coprocessor pin like ready pin, processor request extension pin, lock pin, busy pin. So these pin basically related to coprocessor. So like that we have discussed many pins related to data address, related to bus address, bus enable pin, like that. Now we will discuss registers. In last lecture we have also discussed general purpose register and how you read the data from memory. In that you see the example. If you were to read word, double word or byte at that location, then how you will read. So these things we have discussed in last lecture. Now we will start from flag register. So in this diagram you can see we will start from, it is a 32-bit register, first one, and we will start from 0th bit, and 0th bit is your carry flag bit. So carry flag bit basically related to arithmetic operation. Whenever you add two 8-bit number or 16-bit number, and carry will generate at the most significant bit. So in that case your carry flag will be set to 1, otherwise your carry flag value is 0. In this diagram you can see many bits are 0 and 1. So these bits basically undefined or not used for the 80386 processor. Your next pin is parity flag bit. So parity flag bit basically set when your parity is even. You have two type of parity, even parity and odd parity. And parity bit basically you use for the error detection, and 1 bit error you can detect from the parity flag bit, but more than 1 bit error you cannot detect or identify by parity flag bit. We will not go in depth related to example of even and odd parity because this is not part of our 80386 processor. So you just have some idea about the parity. So here your even parity is generated, in that case your parity flag bit is set to 1. If your parity is odd, in that case your parity flag bit is set to 0. Now next bit is auxiliary carry flag bit. So auxiliary carry flag is also related to arithmetic operation, but now you will perform operation on BCD number. So whenever you perform arithmetic operation on BCD number and your carry is generated from lower nibble to higher nibble, in that case your auxiliary carry flag bit is set to 1. What is that mean, lower nibble and higher nibble? So lower nibble basically 4-bit value, like your byte is 8-bit, so your nibble is 4-bit value. So whenever you perform the operation on 4-bit number or on 8-bit number, so 8-bit number you divide it into two parts, 4-bit and 4-bit. So lower 4-bit is a nibble and another 4-bit is your another nibble. So whenever you perform operation, in that case if your carry is generated from lower nibble to higher nibble, then in that case your auxiliary carry flag bit is set to 1. Your next bit is 0 flag bit. 0 flag bit is set to 1 whenever your result have 0. In your result, if all bits are 0, in that case your 0 flag will is set to 1. Then sign flag. Sign flag basically again related to result. Then trap flag bit. Trap flag we have seen so many times this bit. This bit is also related to exception. Whenever your single step execution mode is enabled. So the cause of single step execution mode is TF bit, trap flag bit. If your TF bit is set to 1, in that case your single step execution mode is enabled. And what happened in single step execution mode? Whenever your processor is executing instruction, in that case after executing every instruction your processor will stop. Means it is not necessary your error is generated, your exception, your interrupt is generated, then your processor will stop? No. After executing every instruction, your processor will stop. So this is again a form of interrupt or exception. So this is your exception, we can say that, because it is related to software interrupt. So what happened, whenever your TF bit is set to 1, in that case your processor is in a single step execution mode and it is stop, then check the error, and after that it can continue. The next bit is your IF bit, interrupt flag bit. Interrupt flag bit is related to interrupt. If your IF bit is set to 0, in that case your interrupt will be generated, otherwise interrupt will be in disable mode. In pin diagram we have discussed this thing. You have 3 interrupt pin: NMI pin, INTR pin and reset pin. Your INTR pin is related to IF pin because this is related to external interrupt field. If your IF bit is set to 0, in that case in your pin diagram of 80386 your INTR pin will be disabled. If your IF bit is set to 1, in that case your INTR pin is enabled. So it is related to INTR pin, external interrupt pin. Then your next pin is direction flag bit. Direction flag bit basically related to source index or destination index register. This bit we have discussed in lab experiment code, where you see in the second experiment block transfer with string and without string. So whenever we perform a block transfer, this is the example only. So whenever we perform block transfer, in that case we have used increase or decrease instruction. But if we use direction flag, in that case it automatically perform the increment operation on source index register or destination index register. So this bit is related to your increment operation on RSI or RDI. So if this bit is set to 0, in that case your increment operation will perform on RSI or RDI register, means source index register or destination index register. If this pin is set to 1, in that case your decrement operation will perform. Then overflow flag bit. Overflow flag bit is set to 1 whenever your register will, whenever you are not able to save the result value in register. Means if you perform the operation on 16-bit number and if you use your 16-bit register for storing the value, but it is not necessary again. If you are performing operation on 16-bit register, then you will get the answer in 16-bit. If you will get the answer more than 16-bit, in that case you will lose the value. So in that case your overflow flag bit is set to 1. IOPL, input output privilege level field. This bit is related to the input output privilege level field. Means this bit basically we are using for the protection purpose of input output instruction, because your input output instruction is the privilege instruction. We cannot use this instruction without checking the IOPL field of the instruction. So if the IOPL field of the instruction is greater than the current privilege level field, in that case we cannot execute the input output instruction. But if your IOPL field is is less than the current privilege level field, in that case we can use the input output instruction. So this is your IOPL field. The next bit is a nested task bit. Nested task bit is set to 1. In that case we can perform the operation in a nested loop. Nested loop means if you are executing one task, then during the execution you will enter into the another task, then during the execution of the another task you will again enter into the another task. So this is your nested things. So if your NT bit is set to 1, in that case you will perform the nested task switching. Then resume flag bit. Resume flag bit is set to 1. Then in that case you cannot entertain the debug exception. But if this bit is set to 0, in that case if your debug exception is generated, then you can entertain the field. Then last bit is your virtual mode bit. Virtual mode bit we have discussed in the last lecture also. The three mode: protected mode, real mode and virtual mode. 80386 has three mode. Your virtual mode is like a real mode. So whatever application we cannot execute in protected mode, these application we will run into virtual mode. So your processor basically repetitively and rapidly switch between protected mode and virtual mode field. But if your VM bit is set to 1, in that case only the processor can switch between protected mode and virtual mode. Otherwise it cannot switch into virtual mode within protected mode. So this is your flag register of 80386. Next register we will discuss into next lecture. Thank you.